Which side are you on? This is the Daily Dozen, presented by Champions Round.
Welcome to the early morning edition of Daily Dozen. My name is Jason Gold. As always, I am joined by Stephie Smallls. We have the NBA draft today, which I am very excited about. You can come play Big Board Showdown right now until the draft starts at 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern. Steph, you absolutely murdered the Daily Dozen last night, going 10 of 12. We almost nailed the game exactly perfectly. All we needed was that Corey Perry goal for the Lightning in overtime instead of the Avs. How are you doing this early Thursday morning?
I'm doing good. I couldn't believe that. I had to step out for a second, and then I went back, and I was like, overtime? It's overtime? I saw your tweet first. I was like, hell yeah. So excited about the NBA draft. This has been one hell of a week. Golf is on. Everyone knows Thursdays are my Fridays when golf is on. So very excited. I have this new Arizona basketball jersey that was purchased for me. So pumped. I'm definitely excited about Daily Dozen.
Did you just come up with that line on the spot? Thursdays are my Fridays, because we need a t-shirt of that ASAP.
Oh, you've never seen, I tweeted one time about how like the week is shorter when it's golf season because Thursdays are actually Fridays, but we do need a t-shirt.
That's a great t-shirt. Absolutely.
It is. Yeah, no one else take that idea. That's our t-shirt idea.
All right, so you can win a Luka Doncic jersey right now. All you have to do is DM us a screenshot of your Big Board Showdown league. Please go and draft. We're going to do drafts all day. All right, let's jump into some draft props. I just released my 5 absolute locks for the NBA draft on our Discord. I will tweet them out, and they'll be on all of our stories later, including some of my picks for Daily Dozen today. So here we go with the show. Let's switch that. Let's get this up on the board. Let's take a big old swig of the Goldilocks brewery here.
Oh, yeah. I was looking around. My coffee's right here. I need some as well. I don't know why I moved it. Okay, let's roll.
Smalls is off to go get our coffee. All right, first.
I got it. No, it was just right there.
Keegan Murray, draft position, 5.5. Which way are you leaning on prop number 1?
So this is one that I was going to see how you could convince me. It would kind of surprise me if he makes it out of the top 5 here. I'm leaning to go under. I think he could go as high as 4 to the Kings, but I also think that they could trade that pick as well. I'm leaning under, but talking myself into over as I am talking to you.
Yeah, so I talked about this on the show with Gambling Goal with Titus yesterday. Murray's an interesting case. He could definitely go 4. He went out to dinner with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis in Sacramento, which usually means that they're heavily interested in him, although I do believe that they're going to end up trading that pick or taking Jaden Ivey at number 4, which leaves them at number 5. A coin flip. It's minus 285 right now on the under for him to go to the Pistons or the Kings, and plus 200 to the over at DraftKings. So what I've done is I actually think that Benedict Mathurin from Arizona is going to end up going 5th to Detroit. So
I'd really have him.
So I have Keegan going 6th. So I think that doing an over of a plus 200 is probably a decent bet right now. I don't think it's a lock by any means, but I do think there's value on taking a over 5.5 position here.
Yeah, I love it. And I think that it's funny because as I looked into it more, it doesn't seem like people are talking about the chances of Benedict going to the Pistons at 5, and I actually really love that. I think we'll wait because it's the next prop, isn't it? Here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So Benedict Mathurin, draft position 6.5. Right now, DraftKings has that under 6.5 at minus 285, over 6.5 plus 200. I am very, very confident in the under here. I think he either goes 4 I don't think he goes 4. I think he either goes 5 or 6. So them leaving the 6.5 up here, I think is an absolute smash spot. It might be my favorite play of the day.
And weird things keep happening since I moved to Michigan. This would make a lot of sense. It would continue to follow that trend. An Arizona player has to go to Detroit. So I am with you on this one. You know, he was very well touted after his private workouts, and teams really liked him with interviews too. I think he's going to go much earlier than a lot of these mock drafts that I've been seeing have him.
Okay, so looking at some of the draft props at DraftKings right now and looking at some of the movement that I saw from yesterday, Jaden Ivey minus 175 to be the fourth pick. Keegan Murray plus 145 on that same pick. Usually, when that means the odds have swung back towards Jaden Ivey, so I would expect him to be the fourth pick. Fifth pick, Keegan Murray plus 130, Benedict Mathurin plus 200. Those odds are about the same as yesterday. I think that both players are really in play here, but I'm going to take the swing on Mathurin, so I'll take the under 6.5 and the over on Keegan Murray at 5.5. Dyson Daniels, draft position 7.5. So we pretty much got through what we think is the top 5, which will be, we know that it's going to be Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren, Paolo, probably Jaden Ivey, and then either Mathurin or Keegan Murray at 5. 6 probably takes the one that's not taken at 5. So now we're at 7 with the Blazers. Do the Blazers get Dyson Daniels, or do they go somewhere else?
Yeah, this is going to be there's 2 of the Daily Dozen props that I just am going to kind of play it safe with. I'm not getting cute with it. I'm going to, even doing the mocks myself, I'm putting him at 7 pretty consistently. So I'm just going to roll with that. I think that he's still a really young kid, needs a little time to fill out. But I'm going to take him here at 7. So we will do the under.
Under 7.5 minus 170 at DraftKings. I'm really torn on this one. I do think there's a chance that if Keegan Murray is there at 6, the Pacers would pass him up to get Daniels at 6. So then you're at 6 and 7 with the possibility of taking Daniels and still hitting the under. So I'll join you here. I'm gonna hit the under on this too. All right, Shaden Sharp, draft position 7.5. Well, if we're going under 7.5 on Daniels, I think that obviously we have to go over on draft position for Shaden Sharp.
Yeah, I am with you. I think I like him to San Antonio. He was the number 1 ranked player in his high school class. I think he's an interesting case, and I think he's going to do really well at the next level. So I'm going to take him over here. There's not really space for him to go under the way that I'm seeing it play out too. And that's no knock to him because I do think he's so talented, but I'm going to take the over.
I think that's the right place to be. DraftKings has the over 7.5 at minus 185. So we're on the right side of the odds through the first 4, except for Keegan Murray, which we're fading and trying to make a lot of money. Jalen Duren, draft position 10.5. That puts him in between the Wizards and the Knicks picks. I have the over on this. Dan Titus told me that this is his favorite bet on the board last night. So I'm going to ride with my boy. We're going to take the over 10.5 on Jalen Duren.
I have the over as well. I think that he, both of the places, he could go around 11 or also go to the, around 13. I think I've been seeing him go. I think he is really talented. And I know the Pistons gym is obsessed with him, but that's way too early for him and it's not going to happen. So I like the over here.
Way too early for him to be taken at number 5. Absolutely not. Johnny Davis from Wisconsin, draft position, also a 10.5. I have the under on this. The over, maybe I don't. Okay, so in my mock last night, I had Johnny Davis 9th to the Spurs.
Okay.
However, I'm looking at the DraftKings odds right now, and his over has shot up. Over 9.5 shot up minus 260. That was not the case last night. Therefore, I'm taking the over.
Woohoo! We love a good switch on air. I had the over too. I think he could go, I guess, to the Wizards at 10. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking myself into the under, even though you just talked yourself into the over. This one had my question marks around it. I'm probably going to stay away from him and any kind of betting on my own, but I did write down the over, so we'll roll with the gut.
I mean, over, so if I had him pegged to the Spurs, that was the one team I thought in the top 10 that would take him. And now the over 9.5, so past the Spurs is juiced that heavily. I got to assume that he's probably going to drop to, I don't know, 13, 14, 15, something like that. So he might be a way over. Interesting.
You're right. He might be that one that drops too.
All right. Osman Deng, draft position 11.5, juiced to the under minus 135. I have seen him all over the board. This is the true wild card, I believe, of Daily Dozen today. I have not seen a concrete one, I have seen him as high as 8th. I have seen him as low as 16th. I do not know what to do with this. I'm going to lean just because I don't believe the Knicks are in play to take him. And I don't know if the Wizards or Spurs will either. So I'm going to lean towards the over here, but I really have no read on this one.
Yeah, I lean the over as well. I think, a couple of teams seem to be pretty obsessed with him, but I'm going to ignore there being some kind of trade for him and him going over this 11.5. But again, don't really feel comfortable with this one. I can't get a read, and this is one that there's just smokescreen city all over the place, kind of.
I really don't know what's going to happen. That back end of this lottery, once you get past 7, is pretty wide open. So
Things get
interesting
weird.
movement that we can try to gather.
I was listening to something yesterday that this draft is getting compared to how chaotic the NFL draft was. It's going to be a very similar year.
I would love to see chaos. That's my favorite thing about drafts is when things get all out of whack. Also, I was reading something last night from Jonathan Givony of ESPN. He said that the number 4 pick, the number 6 pick, the number 7 pick, the number 10 pick, the 11, 12, and 13 are all on the board right now. I hope we see mass chaos. I want trades every day.
And there really could be so many trades that are sitting there. I can't wait.
You know how stupid I am? I should have just thrown in how many trades will there be in the first round prop? Because that's way more fun than some of these guys.
Oh, you should have.
Maybe I'll make a 13th question and we'll do it online for like a jersey or something. All right, stay tuned for
Like a
that.
bonus
I gotta figure that out on the plane. All right,
I
AJ
love
Griffin, draft position 11.5. This puts him between the Knicks and the Thunder. Ton of smoke for Griffin going to the Knicks. A lot of connections there to their front office. The odds would suggest right now at DraftKings over 11.5 minus 140. So maybe he gets past the Knicks. What's your opinion on this one?
I keep seeing him go to the Thunder. I know that there's also rumblings of them wanting to move.
The Thunder at 12?
Yeah. I think that's where I've been seeing him go. What about, have you seen him around there or no?
Yeah, I've seen him. This is why gambling is the worst and the best at the same time. I've seen him at the Knicks a lot at 11, and I've seen him at the Thunder a lot at 12, and the Hornets a lot at 13. So you're putting me right in the middle of this 11.5. I'm gonna bet the over just because I can't trust the Knicks doing anything correctly.
That was going to be my exact sentence. My exact next sentence is going to be the Knicks are going to be the ones that like make this draft weird, and it's going to probably screw up a lot. It really depends either if someone fall. I could see the Knicks trading out of here too, so I don't know what's going to happen. So I can't get this one I definitely can't get a good read on either.
All right. So
even these guys, I'm just like, I don't freaking know.
I'm going to lean towards the over.
I have the over, yeah.
All right. 4 more props on the board. Jeremy Sohan, draft position 12.5. This is one of my favorite on the entire board.
Thank God, because mine says Jason needs to convince you because you have no idea what you think.
Okay. So Sohan from Baylor, just an absolute. You know what? I'll be nice to the guy. He definitely plays with an edge. I was going to call him an asshole, but he definitely plays with an edge. He's a really good player, really good defensively. I think he's going to get drafted really high. So I have the under 12.5. The odds right now would suggest that I am correct. Under 12.5 minus 200. I think he can go as high as 8 to the Pelicans. And there's a chance that he goes 9, 10.
Do you think the Knicks could take him? No. You don't think so?
No. The Knicks are the one team that I literally just I want Spurs at 8. Pelicans at 8, Spurs at 9, Wizards at 10, Thunder at 12 can take him. You know the one team that won't take him? The fucking goddamn New York Knickerbockers.
Yeah. I think, it's funny the way you said he's an asshole, which is very low-key true. He's a great defensive player, and I think that he will sharpen up some other stuff when he does get to the NBA coming from Baylor. I really don't know with him. He could go to, I think, 13. I was pretty consistently placing him at, but don't feel very comfortable with it. So I'm going to take the over because I think there's a he's like my least favorite to make it into that higher group, I guess, if that makes sense.
The stupid Knicks. They're going to ruin everything.
They're going to ruin everything like they always do, and they don't deserve anything nice. Like,
okay. Let's get into the 10th prop of the day. Mark Williams from Duke, draft position 14.5. The odds would suggest the over 13.5, so a little bit lower, minus 210, which puts me in a weird spot. But 13 to the Hornets, I don't think that he'll end up going there, despite the fact that they do love their big school guys. And then you have 14 to the Cavs. The Cavs are locked in on one guy that we're going to talk about in a little bit. So I'm going to take the over here on Mark Williams' draft position.
Yeah, I'm going to take him over as well. I think he ends up, I think he does go top 5, and I think I'm top 15. And I think that the Hornets is probably the safer if I were to like pick it. I think if he's there and Durant doesn't fall, maybe that's the way it goes. But don't feel, wait, it's 15.5 on.
No, 13.5.
Oh, okay. Oh, God. I'm going to take the over here.
All right. Like it. All right. Agbaji from Kansas, draft position 14.5, minus 140 towards the under on this. I actually bet the over 13.5, minus 140 previously. What are you thinking for this prop?
I am thinking under. I think that, again, this was my second one where I'm just not going to try and be cute. I'm going to assume that Cleveland goes and gets him. I think that this is a kid that, it's a perfect fit for this team that, obvious reasons with the way that their season played out. I think maybe I heard some rumblings that the Wizards are interested, but it would still be under. So I am going to go under.
I agree with you here. I think the under 14.5 is the sweet spot. I think the over 13.5 is also a sweet spot. I think there is a really, really good chance that he ends up on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And in fact, if you can find it, the team first round pick prop, if you can get Agbaji to Cleveland, I'm sure that you can find at least a +400 or 500 out there. I think that would be a really good bet. Let me see if I can get that at DraftKings right now. Oh, here we go. Oh, the Knicks, Cavs. Here we go. Oh, Agbaji +250. So I hate those odds, but if you can find somewhere higher, +300, +400, I would bet it. All right, last one on the board. Prop number 12, Malachi Branham, draft position 14.5. I think there's a chance he ends up on the Knicks at 11, but what are you thinking here?
I'm just going to take the under. I think everyone is assuming that he's going to go over, but I think that this is a kid that's way more talented than, because everyone wants to talk about a little bit flashier names, but I think he could end up being one of the steals in this draft. So I'm going to go under and assume that one of these teams a little bit higher. I think he could go as, many spots earlier than 14, 15. So I am going to take the under, and I like it.
Over 14.5, minus 210 right now. So I'm going to lean with the odds. I'm going to go over, but this is definitely the guy who's in the range where you could see him going anywhere from 10, 11. The Knicks are definitely in play here. Thunder potentially, but then also a guy who could slip to 17, 18, 19, 20. I'll take the over just because I think that's what I'm supposed to do based on the odds, but I don't feel super confident in that one.
I love it.
All right. We got through the 12. We're going to put together some props. We're going to send them out first on Discord, then everywhere else. Big board showdown. We're going to be doing drafts all day. There's a Luka Doncic jersey on the line, so go enter right now before 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. And Steph is hosting Daily Dozen tomorrow on her own. I got to build her some props, but we're going to be doing some golf, and she's going to absolutely smash it tomorrow.
It's so much fun.
So come back for that. What time are you going to go tomorrow? At 12 Eastern?
Probably the 12. Yeah, this was a little early, but we did it for you because you're going away this weekend. But I shouldn't even be complaining. It's 6 a.m. for you. I'm like barely getting out of bed at 7:30, ordering Starbucks from bed. So it'll probably be a noon. That's more my jam. So it will not be an ass crack of dawn type show.
All right. Sounds good. So go enter Big Board Showdown. Come play with us today. And good luck on all your NBA draft bets. And hopefully your team doesn't fuck it up unless you're the Knicks, which you know that they're going to fuck it up. So Might as well just not even pay attention to it anymore.
Yeah, no.
All right.
Bing bong. Isn't that what they say?
All right, we're ending on Bing bong. We'll talk
Yeah.
to you later.